So if any of you have read Atomic Habits, you'll be familiar with this idea of environmental design. And essentially what this means is you set up your environment to encourage you to make it easy to do the things that you want to do and to make it harder to do the things that you don't want to do. This is similar to that old idea of behavioral conditioning from Psychology 101. And the idea is that you set up triggers in your environment to allow you to do the things that you want to do. So something simple would be to set out a fruit basket if you want to eat more fruit, and to set out your running shoes before you want to go on a run in the morning. If you want to do something every day, there are certain things that are not going to be the same as a habit, like it's just a monthly or weekly task, but let's just say it's every day. You can set what's called an implementation intention, and it just says, I will do this activity at this time in this place. And that makes it a lot simpler to be able to do the thing that you want to do, because most people, it's not that you don't want to do certain things, it's just that you haven't set a clear enough intention for doing those things. So setting the activity matched with the time and the place can be really helpful. At the same time, it does help to have some flexibility to your routine. So figuring out a way in that if you do miss doing that task in that place, you could do it somewhere else, for example. And if you miss a day, it's okay, just don't miss 2 days. That's like another simple rule. At the same time, every rule is just created to help you serve your, highest goals and needs. So if there is something that isn't working for you, change it rather than just sticking to this task for, just the idea that it's helping you. So it really harkens back to that idea of what we manage, or what we measured. What we manage gets measured. So if you are tracking something and you have a goal, say, of you want to do a good job at your work, and if your work is based on your sales numbers, you're going to optimize for good sales numbers. And that might not be the best way to measure how you're doing a good job at work. If you're being a leader, if you're being a good communicator, being compassionate for your other coworkers, if you just are in the right line of work in general. So there's a lot of ways to view the same problem differently. So just to think about how you can measure things in a way that actually matches the goals that you want to meet. So that's the idea there. So the implementation intention, just to go back to that, is I will do this activity at this place and this time. So X activity, X place, X time. Then there's what's called habit stacking, which you can add to the implementation intention, which just means if you have something that you already do, let's say it's making your bed in the morning, you can do 10 push-ups after making the bed in the morning, and that would just be, after I do X, I will do X. And that's a simple way to add in a task into something that you already do during the day, so that it feels like it's less of a burden on your mind to actually, have this whole new routine where this thing that you want to do just becomes a part of your existing routine. And another big idea is that all of these habits, again, they're meant to serve you, and your goal is to do them with awareness, right? If it just becomes a rote task where you're like, okay, I'm just going to do this thing now and I'm going to do this thing, it becomes more mechanical. And this whole idea is that whenever we humans are given the option to behave like robots, we do. So the problem and the promise of technology is that it allows us to free ourselves from this burden of repetitive things, because that's what computers are good at. And at the same time, it is helping us to do the repetitive things that we need to do. So it's kind of like a catch-22 in that there are still going to be repetitive things that we do, but how do we do those things with awareness? So building habits is one thing. It's very helpful, very powerful, getting 1% better every day. If you compound, just 1% for 365 days, it's 37 times better. So 1.01 to the 365th power is 37. So just that idea of getting better every day, you can measure it, you can quantitatively say, yeah, I feel better, but at the same time, you want that qualitative approach. So in the process of being more directed and willful, you also maintain your heart and your passion and your drive and your energy to be flexible and be creative. And I think that is possible. And yeah, I believe that you can do it, that you can have discipline and freedom and fun, and that they all feed into each other. So go out there and make a difference in your life, and one day you'll notice that you've inspired someone else to do the same thing. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already done so, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos just like this. We will be posting new Mindwave videos every week, so be sure to stay in touch, and we'll see you down the rabbit hole in a couple of days. Thank you, and namaste.